So kind of a paralyzing fear. There was some trauma that happened as a young child that you don't know how to process. So you just kind of get stuck in that.
Was
Just
it verbal, mental, physical?
Yeah, kind of all of it. And to be able to survive as a child, when you don't know how to process that is one thing. And to find an outlet that's safe to be able to process that is, something that took several years, to get to the point of where I felt like dance was a good expression that I could just feel a new freedom that I hadn't felt yet.
To take the viewers and give a more clarification, is because you're now speaking not only through books, but you're getting ready to be a speaker. So I'm trying to get the viewers a little bit more understanding of the trauma that you went through, because at such a young age to basically go pretty much silent until you're 12 years old. What kind of trauma were you dealing with? Both verbal, you said physical, verbal, and who was the perpetrators? And what were they doing to you?
So I want to be careful with what I say here, just because in this journey of processing trauma and kind of moving through it, I feel like, I've been called to forgive and to kind of not hold bitterness and anger on my perpetrators and what happened in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have a little bit of a hard time clarifying all the details just because I don't want to do it if it's not helpful, I want to be able to pay the path of how, we can experience things in our life that are pretty traumatic, any angle of the abuse levels that people can endure. And we can either sit in it and mull over it, and we can be labeled by it, or we can choose a path where we say, this happened to me. It was unfortunate. And it definitely left some marks, but it's not my label. It's not who I am. And so when I kind of was able to work through that and just, say, this is not who I am. And as I was transitioning as a teen into an adult, find out, well, who am I? That's kind of where I found, peace and hope and joy. Yes, through my faith was helpful, but I found, the dance world. I found out that I was a dancer. I was a musician. I loved playing piano. I found out that I was, a young mother, and I absolutely loved that. I had to take on a lot of responsibility as a young adult, but I don't regret it. I think it really shaped and molded me and helped me to see how much a person can take their life and really pour into other people. And it just becomes like this beautiful garden where there is so much blooming. And you can look around, and of course you can see the weeds and you can pull out the weeds, but to focus on the fragrance of just all that is growing and be a part of that, and to partake in, like my children call them the flowers, the most beautiful flowers in my garden, to be a part of something more, So yes, I have a traumatic part of my past, but I like to focus on, well, what can I do past that? What can I move through, and what can I become? And I think it was kind of what fueled me to be an extremely ambitious person and pursue all these other things in my life. And I felt the strength and the grace from God and my Savior just pulling me through that and saying, okay, you survived that. Now you can take that, and you can take all of